Welcome to the ComSouth candidate profile for the election of the District 20 State Senate seat. I'm Kelly McWilliams with ComSouth Channel 100. Welcome, Ms. Childs. How are you today?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you. Well, let's get down to business. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and about your background?
I was born in East Point, Georgia, to two of the greatest parents that's ever been given. From there, we moved. My father was in the military. He served 28 years in the United States Navy. And so we traveled quite a bit. I actually graduated high school in Glenview, Illinois. From there, I went to University of Georgia, where I met my husband of 43 years. I have three wonderful children. But I've always just, as I call it, have been a servant. Even as a young child, I was always giving or wanted, if I saw someone in need, I just felt like that was something that I needed to do.
Okay. How about your education? I know you said you graduated high school. Could you tell us about any additional education you have?
Oh yes, as I said, because of the military, I've attended different schools, but my background is in education. I was a teacher off and on as we traveled throughout the years, and I also have education in the community and human services. But the best education, the one that I'm most proud of, is the one that I received from the Bible, because it taught me how to live. It taught me how to respect others. It taught me how to honor, and it taught me how to love.
Okay. Would you care to share a little bit about your personal life, your family, hobbies, any interests?
Oh yes, oh my gosh. When I think about family, I truly have been blessed. Again, my husband is my wingman, as I call it. When he was in the military, I was there supporting, taking care of children. And once he retired, he said, "It's your time now." And so he has been with me through my endeavors with the political arena, which I love. We in ministry together. He's the pastor of a church. But I have three wonderful children. My daughter is a doctor, my son is a lawyer, and my youngest is an assistant principal in Covington, Georgia, actually. And then I have 9 remarkable grandchildren who also are just excelling at what they do. So yeah, I'm a proud grandmother, and a proud mother, and a proud wife.
Oh, wonderful. Let's move on to your professional experience now. Have you held elected office before, or is this your first venture into public service?
This is my first one into public service. Now, I was elected as the 8th District Chairman over in the 8th District, which was wonderful. There are 24 counties, and when I was the chairman there, we had 23 of those 24 counties that were organized. So I traveled a lot, met a lot of people, saw many different places in the 8th District, and I think it prepared me for what I'm doing right now.
Being from Houston County, are you involved in any community activities or organizations there?
Oh, absolutely I am. I would tell you, over the past years, we came to Houston County in 1999, and I hit the ground running, just decided, pretty much have always been a part of the Robins Air Force Base Officer Spouses Club. I've had several leadership positions there, from parliamentarian to president, to the newspaper that we have, the Wings, held many, many positions. Outside of the gates, as I call it, I have been involved with one of the largest things that we do, I think, is the Back to School Bash that the Housing Authority has put on. So I've done that for years. I've been president of the Houston Arts Alliance. We used to bring the symphony to the area. So, but what I'm doing right now is, everyone is talking about STEM. Well, I am the chairman, the board chair of the Gordon College Museum of Aviation. It's called GYSTC, which stands for Georgia Youth Science Technology Center. So I'm involved in many, many activities as far as even the church and with my own business, UICF.
So could you tell us what is your political philosophy? Not your campaign slogan necessarily, but what are your core political beliefs?
My belief is that, that the Constitution is what it says it is. And it should be a government of the people and by the people. And I think sometimes we get it twisted and we think it's by the politicians, of the politicians, instead of the people and by the people.
Yeah. Well, who inspired you politically?
You know, I've often asked that question, and I cannot think of any person other than myself. I've just always been excited about when I watched government happen in the, as I call it, the neighborhood. I remember as a child asking my mom, what does that mean? Why do we have a mayor? You know, what's the importance of having a governor? And then the President of the United States, I was just always intrigued by what that was about. So I studied that. And when I had an opportunity to do something about it, I did. You can tell from my age that I've been involved with a lot of things politically. And the first thing I remember being a part of was a sit-in back in the 60s. And that was exciting because I think we made a difference in the direction that the United States have gone. Now, I do look back and I think, oh my gosh, I would think we'd be in a better position sometimes than we are today. But that's when it began with me. And even when we went to college, my husband and I, we did things that were political then. And all their assignments, I even have helped on mayors. When they run for mayor, I've helped on those campaigns. When we were on Island of Guam, I was at the governor's mansion. I just have always felt that if I believe what the, you know, what the Constitution says it does, then I need to be a part of that because I am of the people.
Okay. Well, shifting gears a little bit, it's a big responsibility to represent the citizens, as you were saying, especially of District 20 in Atlanta. What is the main reason you are running?
I'm running because I spend a lot of time in the community, which means I listen. In fact, some people say I'm quiet. It's not that I'm quiet. You get more done when you listen. I'm a woman of action. You know, a lot of people, I don't want to say talk a lot. I just rather be known as a doer, just getting it done. And because I have in so many different ways, I just feel like the time is now for someone who will represent all the people. I know you said we don't use slogans, but mine is every voice matters. And that does, to me, sometimes we miss different segments of the community. I want everyone to feel like they can pick up a phone or dial a number or just see me on the street and say, hey, maybe we talk about this. And I do that anyway, and I just feel like a representative should represent all the people.
Okay. And what about critical issues for District 20? What would you say some of those are?
As I've been driving around trying to meet people, as I said, I'm from Houston County, so to me, if I really want to represent District 20, I need to get out and visit, you know, Pulaski and Lawrence, and luckily I've done that. But as I was driving through some of the towns in those cities, I noticed outside of the main road, we still have some streets that are not paved. So, you know, when you talk about people being discouraged because there's no jobs, then I found out there are some jobs, but people do not have the job-ready skills. So there's a mighty work to be done, and I'm ready to just get in there and help get it done.
Okay. What would you say of those issues is the most critical issue you think is facing District 20?
Jobs. Jobs. Again, education to me is so vital to everything that we do, including getting the jobs, but jobs, jobs, and jobs.
What will be your primary focus should you win the election on day one of the 2016 General Assembly?
On day one, honestly, once I take that oath and take my seat, I want to start working for the constituents here in this district. right away.
Are there any committees you'd especially like to serve on?
I was asked this question, but they phrased it a little different way. But yes, my heart is military when it comes to veterans and those families. So I would love to be a part of the Military Veterans Homeland Security Committee. As a freshman, I probably won't get to choose, but if I would, or education, I think would be very, very good. Or appropriations, there's many, but those are my top two. I've served on the Rules Committee before because I've been a member of the state committee and the executive committee for the GOP. So rules is something that I know and I understand, but yeah, those would.
You can see the connection with your background. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Moving on, what makes you the best candidate for this position?
I've heard there are 6 of us running, and I think of the 6 of us, everyone says they are the best. So I tell people to do this for me. In any other job in which you hire someone, they have to submit a resume. And to me, what that resume does, because I've sat on the other side of the table to hire, is to allow me to look at that person and fit their skills with what I'm looking for. The same to me should be done when it comes to asking someone to represent you. So look at my resume and you will see that I have been on the ground working for the people in the community in which I live, not just here, but every place I've been. I've always jumped right in the community, in the churches, in the schools. I've done it here. In fact, as part of my business in March, during Women's History Month, I started a program called the It's Time Unity Conference. And I have honored women across the state of Georgia, women in business, women in education, all of those things. Look at the resume. Everyone will say, when I get to the Gold Dome, this is what I'm going to do. That's fine. And I pray that all that is true. But what have you done before that? Look at my resume, and you will see I've worked with nonprofit organizations. I've been there for the military. I'm on the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. There's a program at the military base at Robins Air Force Base on Wednesday evenings with the airmen. Different organizations come in and they feed the airmen. I'm even a part of that. So I give. You know, all the organizations I've been a part of show that, yes, when I say I represent all the people, I represent all the people.
Okay. So, speaking of the Air Force Base, what can you do to protect and grow our Robins Air Force Base community?
Wonderful question. Right now I'm involved, like I said, I'm there in a way through the Spouses Club. 21st Century Partnership is doing a great job. Oftentimes when we hear the word BRAC, I mean, it strikes fear. And that's because no one wants to see our base closed. So we need to make sure that we continue to do the things that we're doing, such as making sure that we're war ready, that our workforce, and right now I must say, I think the partnership that's going on at Robins Air Force Base in our community is awesome. That's the word I want to use, is awesome. But we need to continue. I know when BRAC comes in, they look at the community, see what we're doing. So we're fighting to make sure that we are ready when they come, that they see that partnership built, not just with what happens inside that gate, but also what happens outside the gate, and that the partnership that we've already started continues. Okay. But it takes all of us. I think sometimes people think one segment of something, it takes all of us working together to make it better.
Agriculture is Georgia's #1 industry currently. How will you help expand and sustain that industry?
It is our number one industry. And you know what I don't think a lot of people realize is that because of our agriculture, we put billions of dollars into the economy. So obviously we're doing a great job already. I would just like to make sure that I'm part of whatever it takes to sustain what we're doing and just make it better. But also I think I've had the opportunity to talk to farmers. We need to make sure that they have a seat at the table. I was, my eyes was opened with some struggles that they have. So and if there are regulations that stunt that growth, I would like to be a part of the team that kind of removes those regulations.
Okay. After ag, the number 2 industry is tourism. Any ideas on how to boost that in our district?
In our district, as in most other districts, we have convention and visitors bureaus. A great time would be for us to sit down together with those people who are in charge of those committees, with representation also from the community, and let's just work it out. Because they have the answers. They know what they want to have. What they need, though, sometimes is the funding to make it happen. So I tell you, I have a good relationship with Marsha over in Houston County, who does an awesome job with our Convention and Visitor Bureau there. And I know she has a vision of where we can go. We just need to make sure that the people who are the visionaries, we give them the tools they need to succeed.
One matter that is central to our collective future is education. Do you have any ideas on improving our education system?
For someone who's sat in the classroom and have also been a part of the administrative team, as well as sat on one of the school boards of this school, we just need to get out of the way. Government, I think, need to get out of the way and allow those that we elected, such as our superintendents and our school boards, to come together as an educational team and build what they know would be the best for our children.
Okay. And is there anything you'd like to see being done differently or addressed under the Gold Dome in a different way?
I think we need transparency for number one, and we need cooperation. We have a fine state. I am so proud to be back in the state of Georgia. So we must be doing many things right. But there are some things that we could do better. I think the corporation, I think we need to be able to sit down at the table and disagree, but disagree agreeably. And then if I am to look at legislation, I would like to have time to review it. Sometimes I think we're too quick on not allowing the people that represent the various counties enough time to really read what we're voting on, and I think that does not serve us well.
Okay. Well, that brings us into, I'd like to step out of the picture for a moment.
Okay.
And allow you 2 minutes to speak directly to the voters
Okay.
here in District 20. The floor is yours. I'll signal you when your 2 minutes is up.
Okay.
And let you know.
Thank you. District 20, we have an opportunity to form a partnership. Again, every voice matters. Every vote matters. And a vote for me will definitely be a voice for you. Together, we will fight for jobs. Together, we will fight for education. Together, we will fight for Robins Air Force Base. Together, we will make sure that our children have a quality education. Together, we will just seek out ways to make District 20 the best district in the state of Georgia. But we must do it together. Choose me as your representative. You'll have a direct line to what's happening in Atlanta. You will have town hall meetings where you can come and say and express your concerns. And then when I do go back to vote on the bill, I will be voting what you have sent me there to do. So let's do this together. Thank you for hiring me, check my resume, and know that I will do everything in respectful. Integrity is the most important thing that someone is given. I stand by it. I will respect your vote and your voice. Thank you.